Could your spare change be hiding $1 million secret? Imagine this. An ordinary penny in your pocket might actually be a hidden treasure worth a fortune. This is not just about old coins. It is about the thrilling possibility of uncovering a piece of American history right from your own home. Stay tuned, because today we are diving deep into the incredible world of rare wheat pennies, where small copper coins can lead to unbelievable discoveries and life-changing rewards. Number 1. Imagine finding a single penny in your pocket that looks ordinary but could make you rich beyond belief. A coin so rare and mysterious that even professional collectors would pay a fortune just to own it. This is not a legend. This is the story of the ultra-rare and most valuable 1944 wheat penny with the D mint mark. Welcome to HD Coin's world, where every coin has a secret, and some could turn into pure treasure. The 1944 D wheat penny represents one of the greatest discoveries in American coin history. It looks simple, with Abraham Lincoln on the front and wheat stalks on the back. But hidden in this tiny coin is a story of wartime confusion, minting errors, and unbelievable value. During World War II, the United States Mint stopped using copper in 1943 and made pennies from zinc-coated steel to save copper for ammunition. When 1944 arrived, production switched back to bronze. But something incredible happened at the Denver Mint. A few leftover steel blanks from 1943 accidentally got mixed in with the new copper ones. As a result, two different kinds of 1944 D pennies exist: the normal copper version and the ultra-rare steel version that was never supposed to be made. Both are valuable, but one is worth enough to change your life. Let us start with the copper 1944 D wheat penny, the one you might actually find in an old collection or inherited jar. It was struck in the millions, but collectors crave the ones in pristine, untouched condition, bright red luster, no wear, full detail. At heritage auctions, a flawless example graded MS68 red by PCGS sold for an unbelievable $15,600. Another, offered by Stack's Bowers Galleries, crossed $12,000. That is serious money for a 1-cent coin, proof that even the regular copper version can bring huge profits if it is in perfect mint state condition. But here is where the story takes a shocking turn. Out of the hundreds of millions of copper cents, a few steel planchets, leftovers from the wartime 1943 issue, accidentally slipped through. When those steel blanks were struck in 1944 at the Denver Mint, they created one of the most famous minting errors in American history, the 1944 D steel wheat penny. This coin looks silver or gray instead of red-brown, and here is the key test: it sticks to a magnet. If you ever see a 1944 D penny that attracts a magnet, stop everything, because you might be holding a coin worth more than $100,000. At heritage auctions, a genuine 1944 D steel wheat penny graded MS63 sold for $115,000. Another certified example brought the same astonishing price back in 2010, proving that collector demand for this rare coin is not slowing down. Experts believe that only 2 or 3 authentic examples are known to exist, making this one of the rarest coins in United States history. Now imagine this: a professional appraiser holding that silver gray coin under bright lights, testing it for magnetism, weight, and composition. When it is confirmed as genuine, the room goes silent, and collectors know they are looking at a true American treasure. The combination of a wartime error, low survival rate, and massive collector demand pushes this coin's value higher every single year. And in late 2025, the coin market for rare errors like this is red hot. People across America are now digging through their old jars, searching their grandparents' coin albums, and checking every penny that passes through their hands. The dream of finding a 6-figure coin keeps collectors inspired and hopeful. Every year, new stories surface, people discovering valuable coins and change or family keepsakes, not realizing they were holding something worth a small fortune. If you want to check your own coins, here is how. Look for the year 1944 and a small D beneath the date. If the coin shines like copper, it could still be valuable in top grade. If it looks silver, test it with a magnet. If it sticks, it might be one of the ultra-rare steel cents worth over $100,000. Send it immediately to PCGS or NGC for authentication, because that one test could change your life. In the coin world, the 1944 Wheat Penny is more than metal. It is living history. It represents the power of chance, human error, and discovery. Collectors from around the world compete for these coins, and every time one appears at auction, it sparks headlines, bidding wars, and new records. Both versions, copper and steel, remain in massive demand among investors, museums, and passionate collectors worldwide. So how could one tiny penny be worth a fortune? Because it is a piece of America's story, born from war, shaped by accident, and preserved by luck. The ultra-rare 1944 Wheat Penny continues to capture hearts, imaginations, and wallets, proving that even the smallest coin can hold the biggest value. And now, I want to hear from you. Go to your coin jars, your family boxes, your collections, and tell me in the comments what you found. Do you have a 1944 penny? Is it copper or steel? Have you ever tested it with a magnet? Comment below your discoveries and questions, and I will reply to as many as I can. Let us flood the comments with collectors, treasure hunters, and dreamers from all over the world. So type your stories, your questions, your excitement, and let us make this the biggest coin discussion on YouTube. Thanks a lot for watching and being part of HD Coin's world. Do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more true auction stories, and share this video with someone who might have a fortune hiding in their change. Who knows? The next $1 million penny could be in your pocket right now. Number 2. Imagine holding a single penny that could be worth thousands of dollars. A coin so rare that collectors around the world are still searching for it more than a century later. This is not a fantasy story. This is the real-life mystery of the 1917 Wheat Penny with the S mint mark. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will understand how a small piece of copper from the early days of the 20th century became one of the most desired treasures in the United States of America coin history. The 1917 Wheat Penny stands as a symbol of early American craftsmanship and scarcity. It was struck in San Francisco during a time when the country was still recovering from World War I. Every coin produced carried the proud S mint mark just below the date, but very few survived in pristine condition. The combination of its age, limited mintage, and beautiful design featuring Abraham Lincoln makes this coin a true masterpiece in American numismatics. As the camera zooms in on the obverse side of the coin, you can see Lincoln's portrait, worn slightly by time but full of history. The reverse shows two wheat stalks curving gracefully around the words, 1 cent, a simple design, yet one that represents the foundation of American currency. Collectors love the 1917 for its vintage charm and the fact that it was produced during a period when coins were still made primarily of high-quality copper. That purity adds not only beauty but long-term value to every surviving example. Now, here comes the fascinating part: rarity. Most 1917 pennies that still exist today are heavily circulated and show visible wear. Finding one in extremely fine or uncirculated condition is like uncovering a lost relic. According to professional graders, fewer than a few hundred high-grade examples are known to exist, and that is what drives the incredible demand in the current market. In fact, even lower-grade coins are fetching impressive prices because of the coin's age, scarcity, and high collector appeal. One of the most exciting auction moments in recent years happened when a 1917 Wheat Penny graded MS66 read by PCGS sold for an astonishing $20,700 at Heritage Auctions in January 2019. Another superb example, slightly lower in grade, brought $15,000 at Stack's Bowers Galleries. These are not ordinary numbers. These are the figures that prove how much collectors are willing to pay for a truly exceptional piece of history. Now imagine finding one in your collection or change jar. That single discovery could turn into a life-changing moment. But to identify a genuine 1917 Wheat Penny, you must look carefully for the small S mint mark right below the date on the obverse. Make sure the coin is made of copper and not damaged. Look for original luster, clean surfaces, and sharp details on Lincoln's portrait and the wheat ears on the reverse. The better the condition, The higher the value. That is the golden rule of rare coin collecting. The story of this coin gets even more thrilling when we think about how many of these rare cents might still be out there waiting to be found. Many people unknowingly have them stored in old coin jars, inherited collections, or tucked away in forgotten drawers. Each rediscovery adds a new chapter to the legend of the 1917 Wheat Penny, proving that history is not just written in books. Sometimes, it is hiding in the palm of your hand. As we move into the modern market of late 2025, collector demand for early Lincoln cents continues to rise sharply. With more investors entering the rare coin world, prices for high-grade wheat pennies have surged. The 1917s has become one of the most sought-after coins in the series, often appearing on the top 10 most wanted list for advanced collectors and auction houses alike. The energy, excitement, and prestige around this coin make it not only a collectible but a long-term investment in American heritage. So, if you ever come across a 1917 wheat penny with an S mint mark, take a moment to inspect it carefully. You might be holding something truly extraordinary, a rare survivor of the early 20th century, a link to America's past, and a potential treasure worth thousands of dollars. The 1917 wheat penny reminds us that history can be hidden in plain sight, that the most ordinary things can sometimes hold the greatest value. So check your coin jars, your drawers, and those old family boxes. You never know when the next great discovery might happen, and it could happen to you. Number 3. Under the glow of a single light. Imagine pulling an old penny from your change jar, and realizing it could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. This is not just another coin story. This is the incredible mystery of the ultra-rare 1955 wheat penny with no mint mark. A coin that looks ordinary at first glance but has shocked collectors, investors, and even professional appraisers for decades. Stay tuned, because what you are about to learn might make you check every single penny in your pocket right now. The 1955 no mint mark wheat penny is one of the most fascinating coins in American history. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this coin gained legendary status not only because of its age, but because of its mysterious minting error that turned a simple cent into a collector's dream. During a night shift at the mint, two dies became misaligned while striking, creating one of the most famous double die errors ever seen on a U.S. coin. The result was a dramatic doubling of the date, and the inscriptions on the obverse, clearly visible even to the naked eye. Zoom in on the coin and you will instantly notice the bold, doubled letters in the words, Liberty, and In God We Trust. The date, 1955, appears doubled so strongly it almost looks like a shadow behind the real numbers. This visual anomaly transformed an ordinary penny into one of the most iconic minting mistakes in history, and it all happened completely by accident. Collectors were stunned when these coins entered circulation. They were not supposed to leave the mint, but somehow, thousands of them did, mixed in with ordinary pennies that went straight into people's hands. Imagine the excitement in the mid-1950s. Children, coin collectors, and even shopkeepers began checking every penny they received in change, hoping to spot the now famous doubling on the date. This sparked one of the earliest and biggest coin hunting crazes in American history. The rarity of the 1955 no mint mark double die penny comes from both its limited quantity and its incredible visual error. Experts estimate that fewer than 24,000 pieces were ever released into circulation. Over time, many were lost, damaged, or spent without recognition, leaving only a fraction surviving today in collectible condition. The few that remain in pristine state are incredibly valuable and highly demanded among collectors worldwide. Now, let us talk about the part that every collector wants to know: the current market value. Over the decades, the 1955 double die wheat penny has reached jaw-dropping auction prices. The most famous sale occurred at heritage auctions, where a brilliant red uncirculated example graded MS65 by PCGS sold for $114,000 in January 2018. Another near-perfect specimen fetched $83,000 at Stack's Bowers Galleries in March 2021. Even well-circulated examples can bring several $1,000s today, depending on condition and eye appeal. That means the coin sitting in someone's change jar right now could be worth a fortune, the demand for this coin has not slowed down. In fact, it continues to rise as new generations of collectors discover the beauty of early Lincoln cents. The 1955 no-mint mark Wheat Penny has become a true symbol of the coin collecting world, a coin that bridges history, mystery, and money in one small piece of copper. It also represents the perfect example of how human error at the mint can lead to something extraordinary that captures the imagination of millions. If you are a collector or even just someone who enjoys searching through coins, here are a few key tips to identify an authentic 1955 double-die penny. First, check the obverse side of the coin under good lighting. The doubling should be clear, especially in the words, "Liberty in God We Trust," and the date, 1955. The reverse side will appear completely normal, so all the action is on the front. Be cautious of counterfeits, as this coin's fame has inspired many fake copies over the years. Always verify with a certified grading service like PCGS or NGC if you believe you have found a genuine one. The condition of the coin is everything. Mint state examples with bright, original red luster are the holy grail for collectors. Even those with light wear are still valuable, but the difference between a coin worth a few thousand and one worth over $100,000 comes down to preservation. So, handle your coins carefully, store them in protective holders, and never attempt to clean them. Professional graders can tell immediately, and it can ruin the value. As we move through late 2025, the rare coin market has seen a new wave of energy. Investors are turning to tangible assets, and the 1955 no-mint mark Wheat Penny stands at the top of many collectors' wish lists. Its legendary story, unmistakable design, and proven auction record make it one of the most desirable U.S. coins ever minted. The story of this coin is a reminder that history hides in the smallest places, sometimes even in the palm of your hand. That one penny you overlooked today might be the treasure of tomorrow. Keep your eyes open, keep searching, and remember, every coin tells a story, but few tell one as powerful as the 1955 no-mint mark Wheat Penny. Number 4. Picture this. You are digging through an old jar of coins, maybe one that has been sitting in a drawer for decades, and suddenly you spot a simple brown penny dated 1950. At first glance, it looks like every other Wheat Penny ever made. But what if that tiny coin, with no mint mark under the date, is actually a hidden treasure worth thousands of dollars today? Stay right here, because this is the incredible story of the ultra-rare and most valuable 1950 Wheat Penny with no mint mark, a coin that proves real treasures can still be found in the most ordinary places. The 1950 Wheat Penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the heart of American coin production. More than 46 million of these pennies were produced, but here is the twist: not all of them are created equal. While many have survived in average circulated condition, the ones that remain in pristine red or red-brown mint state condition have become some of the most desirable coins in the Lincoln Wheat series. And as demand for early Lincoln cents continues to rise, the 1950 no-mint mark penny has captured the attention of serious collectors worldwide. When you hold one of these coins in your hand, you are holding a piece of post-war American history. The year 1950 marked a time of economic growth, optimism, and new beginnings for the United States. The Lincoln Wheat Penny carried that legacy, representing not just currency but a symbol of national pride and recovery. Its obverse features the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, strong, calm, and wise, while the reverse showcases two elegant wheat stalks surrounding the words, 1 cent, and United States of America. It is one of the simplest yet most iconic designs in U.S. coinage history. Now, what makes the 1950 no-mint mark Wheat Penny truly special is the combination of rarity in top grades and collector demand. Most of these coins saw heavy circulation during the 1950s, so finding one in flawless condition is incredibly difficult. Coins that have retained their full red luster and sharp details are almost impossible to locate today. Professional graders at PCGS and NGC have certified only a small number of 1950 pennies in MS67 or higher condition, making each one a true gem. Let us talk about the value, because this is where the excitement really begins. A 1950 wheat penny with no mint mark graded MS67 read by PCGS sold for an astounding $9,600 at Heritage Auctions in August 2021. Another superb example brought $8,400 at Stack's Bowers Galleries in 2018. Even lower-grade mint state coins regularly sell for hundreds to thousands of dollars depending on their shine, color, and strike quality. These are real numbers from real auctions, proving that a single penny from 1950 can command serious money in today's market. And here is the best part: people still find them. There are countless stories of collectors discovering uncirculated 1950 pennies tucked away in old bank rolls, family jars, or inherited collections. One collector in Pennsylvania discovered a near-perfect example while sorting through his late grandfather's coin stash. That single coin later graded MS66 and fetched over $4,000 at auction. These stories remind us that hidden treasures are still out there waiting to be found, and that the thrill of discovery is what keeps collectors searching every single day. So, how can you tell if your 1950 wheat penny is valuable? First, look just below the date on the front of the coin. If there is no mint mark, it means it was struck in Philadelphia. Examine the coin under a bright light. Check for original copper-red color, sharp details on Lincoln's portrait, and minimal scratches. The wheat stalks on the reverse should be crisp and fully defined. Any coin showing strong luster and clean surfaces should immediately be placed in a protective holder and, if possible, submitted to a professional grading service for authentication. Condition plays the biggest role in determining value. Even though millions of 1950 pennies were made, only a tiny fraction have survived in true mint condition. Coins with spots, dull color, or heavy wear are still collectible but worth less. However, a bright, original red example with a perfect strike is what collectors and investors are chasing right now, and that demand has driven prices to record levels in 2025's booming coin market. Collectors today are not just chasing rarity, they are chasing history. The 1950 no-mint mark wheat penny connects them to a powerful period in American life and to one of the longest-running and most beloved coin series in history. This is a coin that tells a story, from the minting presses of Philadelphia to the hands of millions of Americans rebuilding their future after the war. As the rare coin market continues to surge, experts predict that the 1950 no-mint mark wheat penny will remain one of the most desirable mid-century coins to own. With each passing year, high-grade examples become harder to find and more expensive to buy. For collectors who value beauty, history, and investment potential, this coin represents the perfect balance of all three. So, the next time you come across an old wheat penny from 1950, take a closer look. You could be holding a rare survivor of American history, a small but powerful reminder that even the most ordinary coins can hide extraordinary stories and incredible value. Number 5. Imagine reaching into an old jar of coins and pulling out a single penny that looks simple, brown, and ordinary. But what if that penny could be worth thousands of dollars today? This is not a myth, this is a true story from the heart of American coinage history. The 1937 wheat penny with no mint mark is one of those hidden treasures that continue to surprise collectors around the world. Stay right here, because this small copper coin could turn out to be one of the most valuable pennies ever sitting quietly in someone's pocket. Change. The 1937 wheat penny, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, carries no mint mark, and that absence alone often confuses new collectors. But here is the secret: even without a mint mark, this coin can be incredibly valuable when found in pristine condition or with rare minting errors. It is one of the coins that represents the golden age of the Lincoln Wheat series, where design, craftsmanship, and scarcity come together to create something truly timeless. When you look closely at the obverse of this coin, you will see the familiar and dignified portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. His face is framed by the words, "In God We Trust." Above, liberty, to the left, and the date, 1937, clearly struck on the right side. Flip it over, and you will see two detailed wheat stalks bending around the words, 1 cent, and United States of America. This simple yet powerful design by Victor David Brenner became one of the most iconic in American numismatic history, and collectors still love it to this day. But the real story behind the 1937 no-mint mark wheat penny is in its rarity and condition. Most of these coins entered circulation and were used heavily during the late 1930s and throughout the war years. That means finding one today with full red luster, sharp detail, and no scratches is extremely difficult. Uncirculated examples are considered treasures, and the few that still exist in mint state grades are commanding record-breaking prices in today's auction market. One of the most stunning examples ever sold was graded MS68 red by PCGS, nearly flawless in every detail. That coin sold for an incredible $7,200 at Heritage Auctions in April 2020. Another equally beautiful piece graded MS67 Plus red brought $5,000 at Stack's Bowers Galleries in 2022. Even slightly lower grade mint state coins are fetching hundreds to thousands of dollars depending on their color, strike, and preservation. These are real figures, real money, for what appears to be an ordinary penny but is actually a historical gem. Collectors are fascinated by this coin because it captures the essence of what coin collecting is all about: discovery, rarity, and beauty. There have even been stories of lucky individuals finding near-mint 1937 pennies inside old family piggy banks, coffee tins, or inherited boxes of change. One coin hunter from Ohio once shared that he found a bright red 1937 penny while sorting through wheat cents purchased at a yard sale. That coin was later graded MS66 and sold for more than $2,000. That is the thrill of the hunt, the excitement that keeps collectors searching every day. Now, if you want to identify whether your 1937 no-mint mark wheat penny could be valuable, here are the key details to look for. Check the front of the coin under bright lighting. The date should be clear, and the portrait of Lincoln should be sharp and well defined. The wheat ears on the reverse should show full lines and texture. If your coin still has its original copper red shine, it is worth examining professionally. Submitting it to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC can reveal its true potential value. Condition is everything in the world of coins. Even small details like luster, color, and strike sharpness can mean the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and one worth thousands. Always handle coins carefully by the edges, and never clean them. Cleaning can destroy the natural surface and drastically reduce the value. Serious collectors know that originality is what makes a coin truly special. As we enter late 2025, the market for high-grade wheat pennies continues to soar. Collectors are competing fiercely for the finest examples of early Lincoln cents, and the 1937 no-mint mark penny is right in the spotlight. Its historical significance, rarity in top condition, and steady market performance make it a must-have for serious investors and collectors alike. This coin represents a perfect blend of affordability and potential. Anyone can find one, but very few can find one in perfect mint condition. Every time you search through your old coins, you are participating in a living treasure hunt. Somewhere out there, a flawless 1937 wheat penny might still be hiding, waiting to change someone's life. The beauty of coin collecting lies in these moments of discovery, when a forgotten piece of the past suddenly becomes something extraordinary. So, the next time you come across a 1937 penny with no mint mark, take a closer look. You might be holding a piece of American history that carries far more value than you ever imagined. And that is what makes coin collecting so magical. The thrill of knowing that greatness can come from the most ordinary places. Number 6. Get ready, coin lovers, because what you are about to hear might change the way you look at your pocket change forever. Imagine holding a simple brown penny, worn with age, but secretly worth thousands of dollars. Today, we are diving into the fascinating world of the 1939 wheat penny with no mint mark, one of the most talked about coins from the late 1930s that continues to shock collectors around the world. As the video begins, visualize a close-up of a shiny Lincoln wheat penny glistening under a magnifying glass. The year 1939 appears boldly beneath Lincoln's portrait, with no mint mark under the date, and that is the first clue to this coin's mystery. Many people overlook this coin thinking it is common, but a few rare examples have sold for incredible prices at auctions, especially in pristine condition. Now let us step back in time to 1939. America was recovering from the Great Depression, the economy was stabilizing, and coin production was back in full swing. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these wheat pennies without any mint mark that year. However, only a tiny fraction were struck with such precision and detail that they would later be graded as near perfect, and that is where the real value lies. The unique features of this coin begin with the strong, bold strike of Lincoln's bust, sharp wheat stalks on the reverse, and smooth copper surface free of heavy wear. Under bright light, the 1939 no-mint mark penny displays a rich reddish-brown tone that collectors adore. The absence of a mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia, which adds a level of historical interest since this was one of the last years before wartime metal changes began. But what makes the 1939 wheat penny with no mint mark truly valuable is its rarity in high grades. Circulated coins might be worth a few dollars, but uncirculated examples, especially those graded by PCGS or NGC, can fetch jaw-dropping prices. In fact, one 1939 no-mint mark wheat penny graded MS68 red was sold at heritage auctions for more than $20,000. That is $20,000 for a single 1-cent coin. Imagine finding one in your old coin jar or inherited collection. These pennies often go unnoticed because they look so ordinary. Yet, the difference between a common coin and a rare one could come down to sharpness of strike, color, and surface preservation. Even minor details like the clarity of the wheat stalks or the smoothness of Lincoln's cheek can make a huge difference in value. For collectors, condition is everything. Coins that have never been cleaned, polished, or damaged hold the highest value. Look carefully for coins that maintain their original mint luster and deep red copper color. If you find one that looks untouched, it could be worth sending to a professional grading service, because that small step could transform an old penny into a small fortune. So what can collectors learn from the story of the 1939 wheat penny with no mint mark? It is a perfect reminder that history and value often hide in plain sight. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes, that story can make you rich. Whether you are a new collector or a seasoned treasure hunter, keep your eyes open for these pre-war wheat pennies, especially the ones in near-perfect condition. And now, for the big reveal. According to the latest auction records, the highest price ever paid for a 1939 no-mint mark wheat penny was $20,700 at heritage auctions. That single penny, carefully preserved for over 8 decades, became a collector's dream come true. So next time you come across an old wheat penny, do not toss it aside. Take a closer look, it might just be your lucky find. Some of the rarest coins are still out there, waiting to be discovered in jars, boxes, and collections just like yours. Number 7. Get ready, coin hunters, because today we are uncovering one of the most fascinating coins from the early 1940s, the 1941 wheat penny with no mint mark. At first glance, it might look like an ordinary old penny sitting in your change jar. But what if I told you that some of these simple copper coins have sold for thousands of dollars at auction? Stay tuned, because the story behind this coin might surprise you, and could even make you check every penny you own right now. As the video opens, visualize a dramatic close-up of the 1941 wheat penny spinning slowly under bright light. The year? 1941. Glows beneath Abraham Lincoln's portrait, but notice, there is no mint mark under the date. That means this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the largest and oldest U.S. mint, where no mint mark was used. And that tiny detail is what sparks the curiosity of collectors everywhere. Now let us take a trip back to 1941. The United States was on the brink of entering World War II. Copper was still the primary metal for pennies, and millions of these coins were minted to support America's growing economy. But among those millions, only a handful were struck so perfectly, with such rich red luster and sharp detail, that they would later become the rare treasures collectors fight to own today. The 1941 wheat penny with no mint mark is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. On the obverse, you can see Lincoln's strong, detailed portrait, while the reverse proudly displays 2 wheat stalks, symbols of prosperity and hard work. But here is what makes this coin truly stand out. The finest examples, preserved in perfect uncirculated condition, show stunning red color, flawless surfaces, and razor-sharp design lines that almost glow under the light. The key to identifying valuable 1941 pennies lies in their condition and errors. Visuals show collectors examining the coin under magnification. Some coins from 1941 show double-die errors, weak strikes, or planchet flaws, which can make them worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. A regular circulated 1941 no-mint mark penny might only be worth a few cents, but when you find one graded MS-68 read by PCGS or NGC, that is when things get exciting. And now for the shocking truth. A 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny in flawless red condition sold at heritage auctions for more than $10,000. That is $10,000 for a single penny struck over 80 years ago. Another near-perfect example graded MS-67 Plus read by PCGS fetched close to $8,000 at Stack's Bowers Galleries. These coins are in massive demand among collectors who chase top-graded Lincoln cents. So how do you know if your 1941 penny could be valuable? Start by checking for the no-mint mark, meaning it was made in Philadelphia. Then examine the color. Original red or reddish-brown surfaces are the most desirable. Avoid cleaning your coins, as that can destroy their value instantly. If your coin looks mint-fresh with minimal scratches and sharp detail, it might be time to send it to a grading company for certification. Collectors love the 1941 wheat penny because it bridges two important eras: the pre-war years of the U.S. Mint and the wartime metal change that followed just 2 years later. It marks the end of an era for pure copper coins before the 1943 steel pennies took over. That historical connection makes this coin even more desirable in the rare coin market today. In the world of rare coin collecting, the 1941 wheat penny with no mint mark continues to rise in value. With strong demand, limited surviving examples in top grades, and its place in U.S. history, this coin represents one of the best opportunities for collectors who seek both beauty and investment potential. And here is the thrilling reveal. The highest auction record for a 1941 no mint mark wheat penny is $10,200. Sold by Heritage Auctions in a near-perfect MS-68 red grade. That is proof that even the simplest coin can become a collector's dream when preserved with care. So next time you come across an old 1941 penny in your change or collection, take a closer look. It might look like a regular coin, but hidden within could be a piece of history worth thousands of dollars. Number 8. Get ready, coin hunters, because today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating World War II era coins, the 1945 wheat penny with no mint mark. It may look like a simple copper penny from the past, but what if I told you that some examples of this exact coin have sold for thousands of dollars at major auctions? Stay tuned, because this small piece of copper carries a story of history, rarity, and hidden fortune that you will not want to miss. As the video opens, imagine the screen showing a close-up of a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny slowly rotating under bright light. The warm copper color gleams, and just beneath the date, there is no mint mark. That means this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the original U.S. mint that produced billions of coins during the war years. But among those billions, only a select few have survived in pristine, untouched condition, and those are the ones collectors dream about today. Let us step back in time to 1945, the year World War II came to an end. The United States was celebrating victory, and the mints were returning to normal coin production after years of wartime adjustments. The 1945 wheat penny was struck in massive numbers, but not all were created equal. Many were made with worn dies, recycled metals, and uneven strikes because of the intense production pace. Yet, the coins that escaped with perfect surfaces, bold details, and rich red luster are now among the most sought-after Lincoln cents ever made. The 1945 wheat penny with no mint mark is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. On the obverse, you see the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln, detailed and dignified. On the reverse, 2 wheat stalks wrap around the bold 1 cent inscription, a design that symbolizes growth and resilience, perfect for America's post-war spirit. Now, here's what makes some of these coins incredibly valuable: errors, condition, and luster. Visualize a magnified shot of a collector's glove holding a glowing red penny. Some 1945 pennies show slight double die errors, while others were struck on leftover steel planchets by mistake. If you ever find a 1945 penny that sticks to a magnet, you could be holding one of the rarest minting mistakes in U.S. history. Most circulated 1945 pennies are worth between a few cents and a few dollars depending on condition. But when you move into uncirculated and gem mint states, that is where the magic happens. A 1945 no-mint mark wheat penny graded MS-67 red by PCGS sold for $4,000 at Heritage Auctions. And another near-perfect example graded MS-68 red achieved a staggering $5,200 at Stack's Bowers Galleries. These flawless survivors from the Philadelphia Mint are the treasures collectors fight over today. To identify a valuable 1945 penny, start by checking for no mint mark beneath the date. Then, look at the coin's color. Bright red or red-brown coins bring the highest value. Coins with full strike details, no scratches, and rich original shine are highly prized by grading companies like PCGS and NGC. If your penny looks mint fresh even after 80 years, it could be worth sending for professional certification. The 1945 wheat penny is more than just an old coin. It is a symbol of victory, history, and craftsmanship. It marks the end of the World War II copper coinage era before the U.S. transitioned to peacetime production. Collectors love it because it combines nostalgia, historical significance, and beauty all in one small coin. In today's rare coin market, demand for top-grade wheat pennies continues to surge. Collectors worldwide are searching for those near-perfect examples with radiant red color and no mint mark, especially from the war years like 1945. And because fewer and fewer of these gems remain, their values keep rising year after year. So here is the big takeaway. If you ever come across a 1945 wheat penny with no mint mark, do not spend it. Check its shine, detail, and condition carefully. You might be holding a piece of history worth thousands of dollars, and it could be one of the most valuable coins ever minted from that incredible era. Number 9. Get ready, treasure hunters, because today we are uncovering one of the most iconic and fascinating coins in American history. The 1944 wheat penny with no mint mark. At first glance, it looks like a simple copper cent from the 1940s. But what if I told you that some of these coins have sold for thousands of dollars at major auctions? Stay tuned, because in the next few minutes, we are diving deep into the secrets, history, and real market value of this incredible coin that continues to captivate collectors around the world. As the video opens, imagine a beautiful close-up of a shiny 1944 Lincoln wheat penny turning slowly under bright light. The year? 1944. Glows beneath Abraham Lincoln's portrait, but there is no mint mark. That means this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the oldest and most historic mint in the United States. These coins might seem ordinary, but their story is anything but. It is a tale of wartime change, minting errors, and pure collector passion. Let us travel back to 1944, the height of World War II. Just 1 year earlier, in 1943, the U.S. Mint had produced steel pennies instead of copper, because copper was needed for ammunition and military supplies. But in 1944, the Mint returned to using copper once again, melting down leftover shell casings from the war to make new coins. Every 1944 penny you see is, quite literally, a small piece of American history, made from recycled wartime metal. The 1944 wheat penny with no mint mark is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. On the obverse, you see Lincoln's familiar profile, and on the reverse, 2 wheat stalks framing the bold 1 cent inscription, a classic design that represents the hard work and prosperity of the American people. But here is where it gets fascinating. While most of these coins are common, certain examples in flawless mint condition or with rare minting errors are worth a fortune today. Now here is the part that gets every collector excited: the errors. A small number of 1944 pennies were mistakenly struck on leftover steel planchets from 1943 instead of copper. These steel 1944 pennies are among the rarest and most valuable coins in U.S. history, worth tens of thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands, of dollars. If you ever find a 1944 penny that sticks to a magnet, you could be holding one of those rare minting miracles. But even the regular copper 1944 no-mint mark pennies can be incredibly valuable in pristine condition. A visually stunning, fully red 1944 wheat penny graded MS68 red by PCGS sold for an unbelievable $15,600 at heritage auctions. Another example graded MS67 plus red brought in over $9,000 at Stack's Bowers galleries. These coins are in high demand because they represent the best of the best, flawless survivors from a time when perfection was nearly impossible to achieve. If you want to identify a valuable 1944 penny, start by checking under the date. If there is no mint mark, it came from Philadelphia. Then check its color and condition. Red coins are worth the most, followed by red-brown and brown examples. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling, strong strikes, and smooth, original surfaces. Coins that have never been cleaned and have natural luster are the ones collectors and grading companies like PCGS and NGC love the most. The 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny is not just a collector's item. It is a story frozen in metal. It marks America's transition from war back to peace, from steel back to copper, and from sacrifice to rebuilding. That emotional connection is what makes this coin so desirable and valuable in today's market. In the modern coin market of late 2025, prices for top-grade 1944 pennies remain strong. Collectors around the world are chasing these coins for their historical significance and investment potential. And with fewer mint condition examples surviving each year, their values are only expected to climb higher. So here is the exciting part. The highest auction price for a copper 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny is $15,600. Sold by Heritage Auctions. But if you ever find a 1944 steel penny, one of those ultra-rare minting errors, the value skyrockets. One sold for over $373,000 at Heritage Auctions, making it one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever discovered. Number 10. Get ready, coin hunters and history lovers, because today we are uncovering one of the most intriguing coins from the pre-World War II era. The 1936 wheat penny with no mint mark. It might look like an ordinary copper coin sitting in your change jar, but what if I told you that some of these pennies have sold for over $10,000 at auction? Stay tuned, because this small piece of history could turn out to be one of the most valuable coins you ever check in your collection. As the video opens, picture a close-up of a beautiful 1936 wheat penny slowly spinning under a soft light. The date, 1936, glows proudly below Abraham Lincoln's portrait, and notice, there is no mint mark. That means this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the most historic mints in the United States. Even though more than 300 million were produced that year, only a small fraction survived in pristine, mint-state condition, and those are the ones that bring the big money today. Let us travel back in time to 1936. America was recovering from the Great Depression. The economy was rebuilding, jobs were returning, and the U.S. Mint was producing billions of coins to meet renewed demand. The Lincoln wheat penny design, first introduced in 1909, was already a national symbol of hard work and perseverance, and by 1936, it had become one of the most familiar coins in American pockets. The 1936 no-mint mark wheat penny was struck from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, featuring the famous bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. Designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, two elegant wheat stalks frame the words, 1 cent, and United States of America, symbolizing prosperity and unity. This design remains one of the most beloved in U.S. coinage history. Now, here is what makes the 1936 penny so fascinating: its rare varieties and errors. During that year, the Philadelphia Mint produced a famous double-die obverse variety, where the date and parts of the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," appear doubled under magnification. If you find one of these in your collection, you could be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars, even without an error. Condition is everything. Most circulated 1936 pennies are worth just a few cents, but in gem mint condition, their value can skyrocket. The 1936 no mint mark wheat penny graded MS67 red by PCGS sold for over $5,700 at heritage auctions. Another near-perfect example in MS67 Plus red grade brought an incredible $8,400 at Stack's Bowers Galleries. These flawless coins, with their rich red luster and perfect surfaces, are treasures every collector dreams about. To identify if your 1936 penny could be valuable, first check under the date. No mint mark means it was made in Philadelphia. Then, look carefully for that double die error under magnification. Pay attention to the coin's color and luster. Coins that remain bright red or reddish brown are the most valuable. If your penny has a glossy shine, sharp details in Lincoln's beard and hair, and no major scratches, you might be looking at a coin worthy of professional grading. Collectors adore the 1936 wheat penny because it captures the strength and spirit of America during one of its most challenging times. It represents hope, recovery, and craftsmanship, a coin that connects us to a powerful moment in U.S. history. That emotional and historical value adds to its demand and keeps its prices strong in today's rare coin market. In 2025, the 1936 no mint mark wheat penny remains in high demand among serious collectors. The combination of its age, condition rarity, and historical importance makes it a coin that continues to climb in value year after year. Top-graded examples have become investment pieces, sought by coin investors across the world. And now for the highlight. The highest auction record for a 1936 no mint mark wheat penny goes to a PCGS graded MS67 Plus red that sold for $8,400 at Stack's Bowers Galleries. That is $8,000 for a single 1-cent coin struck nearly 90 years ago, an incredible reminder of how condition and history can turn a humble penny into a treasure. So, the next time you come across a 1936 wheat penny with no mint mark, look closely. It might be more than just a piece of old change. It could be a coin rich with history and worth a small fortune. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Keep checking those old coin jars, drawers, and collections, because amazing finds like the 1936 wheat penny with no mint mark are still out there waiting to be discovered. Every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story can make history come alive right in your hands.